Alright. We're gonna do a little highway vlogging today, kiddies. So, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today, it's kind of something that's going on right now in my life. It's not exactly easy to talk about. And the subject matter behind today's vlog is going to be drug addiction. Now, you may be asking yourself, but witness, do you do drugs? No, guys, I don't. Am I opposed to people smoking a little bit of pot every now and again? No, I mean, not really. It's not really for me, but am I gonna, like, just completely ostracize somebody because, you know, they smoke a little bit of pot every now and again? No, not really. Have I done drugs before in the past? Yes. I've been young, I've been stupid, and we all experiment with dumb shit when we're younger. But I grew up, and even when I did my experimenting, it was never like it was just like a little bit here and there just to try shit. But it was never like I was doing it on a frequent basis at all. It was never like that. So the reason something like this has been going on lately in my life, I have a really good friend who also kind of shared similar morals with me in the regards to, you know, whether or not they want to do drugs or how they feel about drugs. So we always had a similar standpoint on that. And Jesus Christ, it is windy as all hell today. So I really hope this vlog comes out and I hope you guys can hear me. I guess that's the good thing about the Cena with the Bluetooth backpack. It does a lot of background noise canceling. And so anyway, back to the story. This friend and I, we've shared a lot of similar standpoints on our views when it comes to drugs. And, you know, she started dating this guy. And from the get-go, I knew this guy was just bad news. This guy was no good. And as a friend, of course, I try and warn her about that. But she's just completely enamored. And, you know, I tried to be nice about it. I tried to be mean about it. You know, I tried going all different avenues to try and show her the light that this guy is bad news. That it's only going to lead to bad things. And, you know, nothing was sticking with her. She was just so enamored. So the guy would constantly just do lines of cocaine in front of her. He would go hang out with friends and just get completely fucking high and wasted and have to make her drive like way the fuck out in the middle of, like, not in the middle of nowhere, but like way the fuck out of her way just to go pick him up because he's too high to move, basically. It ended up like just leading to bad things with her to the point where she wanted to break up with him, and she finally started to kind of see the light, like, hey, this guy is bad news, this is not somebody I should be associating myself with. Every time that she would start to think that, and she would go to break up with him or attempt to break up with him, he would give her some sob story and, you know, tell her how much he's going to change, and nothing ever changed. She would buy it, get back together with him, and then he'd go back to doing blow, amongst other various drugs. It got to the point now where she started trying blow. When she told me that, like, my mind exploded, because she was one of those people that, you know, was so adamant about never doing anything like that. Like, that was just not for me, or not for her, rather. I'm saying it like we were having this conversation, her and I. You know, it was just something that we wouldn't do. It's like I wouldn't put shit up my nose. I wouldn't put shit in my veins. Like, that's just not something I would do. And she agreed with me on that. And she was, it wasn't like she was lying to me or blowing smoke at my ass. No, she would actually start this conversation, and she was adamant about it. But here she is now, because of this guy, doing lines of blow. So it got so bad now that she's been trying to break up with the guy, and the whole relationship's just been on a freaking roller coaster. That she had been taking, her doctor had prescribed her Ativan. And for those of you that don't know, Ativan is a drug that basically is supposed to like calm your nerves and mellow you out. But if you take enough of it, it puts you into a euphoric state. So it's basically a controlled substance. She was taking like 3, 4, 5 times the amount, the dosage amount that she was supposed to within the course of a day, just to function, because she was on this fucking emotional roller coaster with this cokehead. It got to the point that delivery system wasn't enough, to where she started grinding up Ativan pills and snorting them. Mind you, she's telling me all this. Like, she sat down with me and one night because she was crying and she needed a friend to talk to, so she came to me, and she's basically spilling the beans to me. You know, she hadn't told anybody this, and I'm in one hand, I'm just so sad. And the other hand, I'm really angry. Because how the fuck could you let this moron, who you know, and you're like, in the back of your mind, you know this guy is bad for you. How could you let somebody like that drag you down and bring you down to their level, to where now you're borderline on the verge of becoming a full-blown drug addict? But it's really, really saddening and really maddening at the same time. Like, I feel my heart crushed for her, because she's a really good friend. And at the same time, I want to fucking wring her neck. Like, it's ridiculous. It almost, you know, makes me want to say, like, that's it, I'm done. Like, I don't want to hear about this shit anymore. Just don't talk to me anymore, because her, like, it almost affects me to a point, and I'm not the one doing any fucking drugs. It's just a really crazy feeling to have to deal with somebody going through that type of a situation. You know, so what do you guys think of this situation? I mean, have you ever been through anything like this, where you have friends or family that are addicted to any kind of controlled substance? It's not easy to go through. I mean, I almost want to like check her into a rehab. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you guys have ever dealt with anything with drug addiction. Maybe it's not friends or family. Maybe you personally have dealt with drug addiction. You know, it's a real touchy subject. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback on this subject. So please leave me a comment below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.